Good morning, traders. We're about 4 minutes away from the open, and we will probably give it 5 minutes after the open and go from there. We had a tremendous news window at 8:30. A lot of red events as far as news. So I'll be back with you in a few minutes, and we shall go from there. Okay, we're open now. We want to give it a few minutes. It's moving extremely quickly again, as we anticipated. So let's see what we can get going here. Okay. So we're pushing not off the fib low, but very near it. But we truly want to wait for this to slow down just a little. Now we're getting a very rapid push up. We got a sticks. We're going to select a sticks here. It was stopped on the fib, and we clear it. So now we're going the opposite direction. Give it a couple more minutes. Let's see if we can get into a trend move. Okay, back up. Another sticks right here. Let's see if two's the charm, if it'll break out off of this swing pivot. Not yet. We'll keep it there a minute or two more. Let's see if they gain momentum. I like the spiral here. We're going to buy here. All right, we got a quick win there. Again, it's really moving too rapidly. We didn't get a fill there. We had to manually enter that, and I'm sorry if that moved too fast for you to get in. But right now, it's a little too choppy. Unless you got a very small target, you would be getting stopped out. Other than that breakout, you can see again here, and I recommend you even do this if you got time every day. I mean, we don't want to trade inside of here. It needs to break down, which it did. We're on the 382 fib. We know that's a powerful fib as well as the mid fib and the 618. It's not that the other ones won't affect you, but these are prone to reverse you. We'll hit rider up here just in case. Again, it's moving. We're going to clear that. so much news, so many red news windows this morning, and it drastically affected the market. And we stayed out of it. We're 7 minutes in. We're still chopping around very rapidly. Let's see if we can establish a more uniform direction. I know we're anxious to get in, but we don't want this. Select retrend here, and let's see if it will continue to push up here. Notice that we do have this swing pivot up here. If this pushes back down, we're going to go and all right, we're going to clear that again. We can come back again. I'm going to only select spiral. So now it's really choppy. We got a spiral. Let's see if it can move up enough to hit our target. The spiral is usually much more high prior probability. No, it's not wanting to. Just got within one tick. It's got to go through there. We don't like this. So we got stopped out there. We break even now. This is something we don't want to continue to work the chop. It's slipping and it's pretty much moving in up, down momentum. We got another spiral. Let's see if this time it breaks out and goes enough. That would have won. But it was right under a pivot, and we had no idea whether it would go or not. We're going to move this on up here for now. I mean, we see it right there. In retrospect, it looks like a lot of these would have won, but when you look at how rapidly it moved, you wouldn't get filled. We have a limit +1, which really helps, especially if we get in earlier in anticipation. But if you didn't, you just wouldn't get filled. And if you were in a market, you would have gotten filled in a terrible position. Same here. I mean, you got multiple bars with the exact same timestamp, which means you would not have gotten filled likely unless you anticipated way back and were in line for a limit plus. Here we go again. And we see all the resistance up here. We have two swing high pivots. That would have been a loser just because of the, how rapidly it's moving. Or again, it depends on your ATM settings. Right now, I don't want to participate. I had a winner and a loser. Unfortunately, I chase the upward movement or the downward movement with my ATM setting. So I'm even. We're 17 minutes away from the 10 a.m. open.
Retrend down.
All right, I'm gonna try out this sticks, but it could very well reverse here. It's on the fib. It's 382, the fib. But the midline is below here, which is bound to give it some support. And if this pushes on up, we're gonna clear the setting. Yeah, I'm out. We'll select spiral up here just in case. It breaks out again, goes up to the prior swing pivot. This is not the best market to be doing anything, and it's just fine to sit on your hands. It's just chop, 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 chop. 15 minutes away. All right, we're going to clear again. So I'm going to sit on my hands until the 10 a.m. You can take a break if you need to. I'm not going to take us into this chop. And although it might look like it's tradable, it's slipping too many bars to really be tradable in most cases. It's just like a coin toss. We want a better probability than that. I'm on a call tomorrow. We're gonna start trading earlier if you're able to join us. And you ask why? It's because the market's tending to trend, and tomorrow is a Friday, and you need to get in, get out early. Today it moved early, but usually, or not, maybe not usually, but a lot of the times when you have a tremendous news window at 8:30, the market's stagnant earlier. Today it did move, and it went crazy with the news window. I mean, basically, you fill the screen with flashing bars so quick that you could barely see them. Part of winning sometimes is sitting on your hands. We're fortunate we're even. We had a winner and a loser, and a loser can be twice the win. But again, I'm chasing the price action with its movement in the direction of the trade, which I'll show you real quickly. If you see here, we have a break even at 20, a target at 20. But I'm chasing it 1-to-1 when it moves in my direction, up or down. Your ATM setting is your personal preference, part of your trading plan, predicated on your risk reward ratio that you've established in your trading plan. So the 200 moving average pushed that right back down. And if you jumped in, you would have already lost. Let's give it a little bit larger view. This may break out here, and it may not go far enough to hit the target. We got a sticks. You could move it. You could select sticks. I'm not going to do it because it's broken out. And if you did, that's not a winner, but close. It depends on your ATM setting. Another sticks. Let's see if it holds or reverses. And that's close to a winner, but this could easily step out. You just don't want to be, I mean, you just don't want to give money back. You don't want to feed the market makers. That would have stopped you if you were chasing the bar with the movement. So we got 10 minutes until the 10 a.m. window opens, and we want to give it a minute or two or five. It's going to depend on how it's moving at the 10 a.m. open. And keep in mind, and I'll hear this, a lot of things look like winners in retrospect, but many times you wouldn't have gotten filled there. I mean, if you just look back and you get a movement with multiple bars at the same timestamp, you likely, not likely, you just probably wouldn't have gotten filled unless you were not caring where you got filled. So if you weren't chasing the bar here, you probably would have won. But again, the reason we're break even versus in the hole is we were chasing the price movement. A lot of the trading yesterday was the same. Just a lot of chop. So we got pushed off the fib. It was not necessarily the strongest fib, but nonetheless, it pushed off, created a swing pivot down. Now we're back on swing pivot from our move up that we were showing. And let's see if it gives it enough support. Now we're back on the fib 382. See if this stays strong and pushes it back up. You could select spiral here for possibility up. I'm not. I really want to get out of this. Got 8 minutes. I don't want to create a hole that I have to dig out of. It's trying to hold. You can see it is pushed through, but it's still not going down in any fashion either. It's just sort of laying over the fib. Again, now it's trying to push up. If I was going to trade this, I would select the spiral because of the higher probability with the extra confidence level of because it's requiring more directional signals. So that broke again very rapidly. You can look at the same timestamp, multiple bars. Got 7 minutes. I think it's worthwhile seeing what the 10 a.m., 10:10, just depends on what the movement's like. You see those flashes of 4, 5, 6 bars, and it looks good in retrospect, but it's stay out unless you're used to trading something moving like that and you're willing to take a bad, a bad entry. 5 minutes. Be interesting to see if we got, yep, same thing, just real quick movement. Flash, bar flash. Another entry you can do that you probably would get filled is the rider up or down once a trend is started. For instance, right here, if you selected rider and the bar turned green here, you might have gotten a fill. It would have been questionable if you didn't get filled fairly quickly. You would not have had a winner. Same here. I will do some additional testing at the end of the day. I'll do some testing because we're getting a lot of this with using the rider, which we'll call, and with the caveat that you could get slipped. But once this thing is heading in a direction, if you're anticipating, let's say with the rider, we might have some possibility of some wins. Frank, are you still there? Let's see if my partner was trading.
Yeah,
Because
I'm still here.
how are you doing with this market? Are you doing any trying to get into any of these?
No, I'm even right now.
Okay. Well, we got 3 minutes until the 10 a.m. What I'm going to do at the end of the day is test some of these because we're getting a lot of these markets lately using the rider once we entered, since that will put us in line for a potential better fill. So right here, for instance, if you had rider selected, that we wouldn't want to particularly take this one up under the 200, but we're talking possibilities of setups. So the rider's sitting here with a spiral, but it's got to go through the 200 and the 382, and that wouldn't have been a good selection, but down with up under the 200 could have been a possibility. You can see the resistance we're getting from the swing pivot, and we got the 200 above it and the 382 above that. But let's just watch. I'm not entering when the market says fast. We got 2 minutes. We definitely wouldn't want to jump in right before the 10 a.m. market. We're just watching right now. Okay, we got a rider, but the 200 is repelling it. And again, we said we would not even have attempted this one, but we're just going to watch it because the rider shows some additional momentum in the direction of the trend. So you would have stopped. But we wouldn't have taken it. We got 1 minute. Definitely don't try to trade the open. Yeah. There we go. That was a immediate flash. That would have been a winner, but you would not have gotten in. You would have had to manually go in because of the multiple bars with the same timestamp. So we'll give it a minute or two, and we will see what we do here. Okay, you got a sticks, which now you got a retrend possibility. And you can use rider on retrends. In other words, it'll signal the rider if it goes down in the direction or up in the direction of the trend you're trying to get back into. Now you could have selected rider there. Excuse me. But again, we've got a lot of support and resistance lines here, and that one's the swing high there. Pivot is pushing it down. We're 2 minutes in. Got another sticks. Okay. Another sticks, which is indicative of chop. Got a strong push down. Got another sticks, which we'll just select this and see, but it's maybe appropriate to just be on sim. Let's just see if we get a movement on down here. I don't like this. All right, we got stopped, but we had a few dollars just because it had chased the price. The ATM had chased the price. Again, it's the same story. The other, I like the strength of the trend, but you really want to take the first sticks usually. It's the strongest, and the second one, if it's way down like this, your potential is reduced dramatically because you never know if we were close to a trend reversal, and we were. That was a strong move up. Let's see. Got another sticks, but again, it's way up in the trend, which is now a potential retrend, which is when it makes a reversal bar and then goes back up. If I took this, I would go with a spiral for additional confirmation on the reversal. Let's just see what we get here. We're 7 minutes in. And our target is right on the fib line. It might be prudent to pull it down just slightly. Okay. I'm going to exit this. We got a few ticks out of that. It did finally go through, but it was, I don't know if you noticed, but the computer was not even keeping up with the price movement. The price action was there, but the quotes were off. Okay. That pushed up through the fib. Now the fib's trying to pull it back so we could pick a sticks again, and we missed it. It's that fast, and we wouldn't have been filled if we had been there. Okay. Now we got a retrend. Now we could select a trio out of here up. We got a spiral positive. So it's getting a little smoother, a little more defined setups. This was a decent setup as a spiral or as a trio or as a rider. So we'll see if we can get another positive movement. And again, we're using micros. So if we were using the minis, this would be 10 times that value, which we will trade more than likely the full mini tomorrow. But what we want to show is the possibility, especially if you're new, of trading without risking so much money, especially in a market like this. So that was the setup with the sticks. Again, it flashed, but if you'd been in advance as it proceeded and you first saw the signal, you might have gotten filled. And you would have, in my case, that would have stopped out. So there we go. I'm going to select a spiral out of here. So we're in line in case we do get a spiral and a flash movement back up. Whoa, we'll take that off. Now we're on the fib. If you're going to enter again, we would select a spiral. I'm getting out. This could turn into a winner, but it's the movement's radical. So we got a few dollars there. And you notice when we exited, we got a terrible fill, which is typical because the spread is widened. Again, we're doing micros, and your multiplier is 10 to 1. So but you want to be conservative in the markets like this. We're close to the half hour, so let's see what we get. A lot of times after the half hour, you start seeing more directional movement without flashes. And we're calling a flash where you're getting many bars with the exact same time stamp. Yep, see? All right, if we're going to hit sticks here again, it's reversing off of the swing pivot high, and if it pushes back, we'll reevaluate to maybe take the signal off. And if it gets we go to a retrend, we can leave the signal on or not, depending on how we like the setup. Yeah, this is not a good market to be playing around in. Not at all. I'm getting out again. This might win, but I don't like this movement. And I want you to notice we lost about half of our profit, even though we were showing a profit when I got out. This market's not set up for the trader to make money right now. All right, we'll try retrend again, because this is considered a retrend, not a sticks. And we could select rider also, whichever one fires first. They probably fire at the same time, if they fire at all. No movement in either direction. Not enough volume to move it. Probably people have been beat up pretty badly because they tried to trade this. Yep, there we go. We want to clear. You hit clear, it clears the entire slate of the strategy. Now we're on the 200 and the swing pivot high, offering resistance and support. And we could select rider, but the rider won't trade. Well, now the pivot's pushing it back. It got within 1 or 2 ticks. Okay. We're up. I don't like this market. I'm going to call it a day because we're positive. And again, with full contracts, that's $360. That's not a bad payday. Tomorrow we'll trade full contracts. We'll trade the NQ, which is the exact same movement, just 10 times the dollar figure. Take care. When you win in a market like this, you've had a very successful day. This was a very difficult day, and people look at it in retrospect and say, "Well, look, that's easy. It ran here." Yeah, you had to be here and trying to get in. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll send out an email saying what time we're going to start, but it's probably going to be early. But you don't have to get up early. You can wait because we're going to, continue to trade. But we'll send out an email with the news window and how we're going to handle that. Have a good day. Take care.